Welcome to the final session of the online physiotherapy symposium running edition. And we've got a very special edition for you today. Paul Wright will be presenting the 6 running program marketing mistakes that reduce profits, waste time, and limit your business growth. It's a great pleasure that I welcome you today, Paul.
Mate, great to be here. I was honoured, Stephen, to see that I'm the only, or I saw the only business guy on the symposium. Was that a purposeful decision?
It definitely was. I think we needed, as I was sort of saying to you just before we jumped on this call. I think it's great to be a great technician, and I think most physiotherapists out there are good with their patients. But it's no good, being the best physio if no one knows about you. So I thought there's no one better than you to help someone niche up and start to market the message and get more of these ideal running clients.
Well, I thought you get a lot of value out of today, Stephen. I mean, as you said, we did a lot of work together in one-on-one work, and I was always harping on these things to you guys. So we'll go through a lot of that today in how to create a marketing program or something, instead of wasting a lot of time creating a great program and then finding out it doesn't work. So I hope that's what you're after.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Some quick implementation tips will be great. All
right. Well, you're happy to get into it? So we'll go straight into it. All right, so let's go through the mistakes. So there's mistakes involved in any business, but I talk a lot about the marketing mistakes, and having been involved in my business for a long time, they're time-honoured. We don't learn marketing as a health professional, and then we find ourselves running our own businesses, or we find ourselves creating a program, and then we work out that no one wants it, or we have trouble filling it. So I think it's important we understand marketing. So I'm going to go through 6 running program marketing mistakes that reduce profits, waste money, and limit your business growth. But they could equally apply. We'll talk about running program mistakes today, but they could equally be mistakes you're making in your knee rehab program or your practice itself. So the mistakes are generic, but we'll use them in the reference to the running program today. Now, the first mistake, I think one of the big things we do wrong as health professionals is we fall in love with our product. And if you think about what happens in most of our careers, how did we become a professional in the first place? I know I became a physio because I liked the idea of anatomy, combining that with injuries. I had an analytical brain. I thought I could probably work for myself. So all these things came into my mind. So I fell in love with the idea, Stephen, of being a physio. But at no time did I think, is there a market for that? Is there a position for that? Or is there an available need for that? So I, like most people, fell in love with what I wanted to do, as opposed to falling in love with what the market wants. Now, I think the lesson for that, guys, be careful about that with a running program. So let's say you're doing this symposium at the moment, you're interested in running. So you want to launch a running program because you like running. You're a runner, you have an interest in running. So I'm going to launch a running program. Now, there's an argument that's a mistake because you fall in love with the product. So you'll then go and do this course and you'll then create a great running program, a sensational program, but maybe there's no market for it. And then you can't sell it. So as a result, it becomes a white elephant. So my point to you guys, don't fall in love with the product, fall in love with the market. So fall in love with the runners, not the running program itself. Because you have to know if there's a market for what you're actually going to deliver. Does that make sense, Stephen? Do you see where we go wrong here?
Very much so. I've heard these words many a time. So how do you know if there's a market there or not?
Okay. Well, I'll go as I go through the presentation. I'll give you some testing ways because that links into one of the other mistakes. But there's some ways you can test it. But think about it in your practice. What are people asking for? What are they? You sit and think, Joe, I wish that clients will say to you, I wish there was a program for this, or I wish someone would do this. You're getting feedback all the time from your clients or from referrers or other people. So that's even a start. It plants the seed in your head. So you've got to know there's a market for it. And my favorite example, I've told you this before, Stephen, I hope you're all watching Shark Tank. This is a business, I'm a business guy. This is a business lesson. Shark Tank is one of my favorite TV shows because people pitch the ideas. They'll pitch something about, this is my great product. And Shark Tank is littered with people who have fallen in love with their product. And my favorite one was the guy that turned up. He sold the armpit pads. These are like pads that guys put under their arms to stop their shirts from getting sweaty. That was his product. And he pitched it to the sharks. And they said to him all the questions, how long have you been doing this for? He said, I've been doing it for about 10 years. How many have you sold? I've sold about 1,000. So the guy's been doing it for 10 years. He sold about 1,000 of them in 10 years. The sharks didn't like the idea. They said, I don't think there's a market for it. And they interviewed the guy out the back after he got rejected by the sharks. And they said, what are you going to do now? He said, oh, no, I'm going to keep going. I believe in this. See, classic example of a guy that had fallen in love with his product. The market wasn't giving him the right message. If he'd have sold 1,000 of them in a couple of weeks, he might have been onto something. But my point to you guys out there, don't fall in love with the idea of a running program. Fall in love with the market that needs a specific outcome.